back to Dead Pine Archives. My name is Dan, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Kelly and Neil.
Hello.
Hooroo!
And today it's Kelly's turn to go over a story.
Yes, it is. What I have is technically a ghost story. It's one of those fun ones that is centered around a actual place and not necessarily overly fixated on just like one specter, because there have been a couple different sightings in this place.
I've never heard of Riley.
You have to call by his Christian name. I don't know what you're doing.
Tree fingers are Riley.
Whoa!
Yeah, do that and then say hooroo again, because we're getting all over the map.
Whoa. Okay, so have you guys, how often do you guys frequent Kalamazoo? All right.
Not a lot since college.
Fair.
I know of Kalamazoo, and I know there's like things there. I don't think I've really spent much time there, though.
Kalamazoo's fun because it is definitely one of those places that even if somebody's never been to Michigan, it sounds like just a fictional land that most people have heard of. It's like, yeah, didn't Bugs Bunny get shipped there?
I'm pretty sure.
I swear, yeah, Kalamazoo was absolutely in those old like Looney Tunes cartoons. That they'd use that in like Walla Walla, Washington or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like it'd be in that song that what's her face sings, the longest word known to man.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo would be in there somewhere.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
Well,
If you say it loud enough, you're always precocious.
That's Mary Poppins, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So in Kalamazoo, there is actually a place that is very fun to visit. It is an actual castle.
Who built a castle?
There's a few in Michigan.
Usually rich people.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Is it called Kalamazoo?
Oh my god.
It's Castle.
Castle.
I don't know. I
I'm the
kind
idiot.
of like the first one because it sounds like you would be welcomed in by people in armor playing kazoos.
I thought it would be animals in armor, but yes. Zoo? Castle Zoo? Kazoo? Castle Kazoo?
Yeah?
You sound crazy. Anyway.
Probably.
So, in Kalamazoo, there is a castle called
Mizzou.
Henderson. Oh my god. The construction was finished in 1895, and it was built by Frank Henderson for him and his wife. Fun fact, so the construction was finished in 1895. There are 25 rooms total, and to build that castle back then in 1895 money, it cost $72,000.
Oh, dang. That means adjusted.
Wait, what time frame was this?
1895.
So I had done the one on that other place, or that the guy made in Jackson, and that was around 70,000 at the time, and I think it was a little bit before that. So it's gonna be around like 2-something million to do it now.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Good quick math there.
It's not. I just memorized what it was last time.
Yeah, no. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my god. So it was converted a few years back into a bed and breakfast that you can go to. There are 14 unique rooms to choose from. It is very beautiful. Dan has a photo up.
Yeah.
The fun thing
it's
about
very
it
pretty.
is whenever people visit it, I was scouring through social media to find photos that patrons had taken. So, don't know. Oh, yeah. There is also a jacuzzi on the roof.
Surrounded by like the old-timey metal iron fences.
Well, yes. Wrought iron fences encompassing a very modern jacuzzi is a fun little juxtaposition.
On the roof.
Well, so yeah, there are 14 different rooms that you can choose from. Some rooms of note include the Queen's Tower, the Tibetan Room, and the library, just to name a few. They all have different little themes. When
You can sleep in the library?
It's not an actual library. Trust me, I would have been like, "Oh, so I live there forever now?" It's just
reading through osmosis. I'm just putting the books under my pillow.
My whole thing was I wanted to try and find photos taken by patrons during their stay at the castle, but most people tend to fixate on the outside of it, which is fair. It is a castle and it is very grand and it looks lovely. But when you try to go on socials to find like actual photos of the inside and of people's experience in the rooms, you don't really find too much. But that's not to say that there's anything wrong with it or anything. I was just like, did anybody see a specter, what happened? So when you go to book a room at the Henderson Castle, they all, even the King's Tower and the Queen's Tower, the ones that are actually in the towers of the castle, and the King's one also comes with a spiral staircase that is very, very cool. They all start at only $147 a night.
Oh, dang.
I know.
Hell yeah.
I was like, so...
It's like the price of a Holiday Inn Express
I
room,
know.
dude.
I was like, so it seems almost too good to be true, but like that includes a complimentary breakfast. It's a cold breakfast, so it's not any hot options, but it...
Cold eggs, cold sausage.
Cold eggs, cold sausage, ice-covered flapjacks.
Instead of little pads of butter, it's just ice cubes.
Even in the summertime. That breakfast is available from 8 to 9:30, and you're allowed access to the public areas of the castle and the grounds itself. They also have a quote-unquote wine cave on the premises. The rules do state, however, that it is illegal. They actually have like licensing agreements that say that you cannot bring your own outside alcoholic beverages into your room. As far as I know, I don't really know how they're checking that.
Well,
but
I mean,
you can't.
it was also, I don't know if it was illegal, but it was prohibited to do it in the dorms in college too, but people did it anyways.
That's because those are children.
No, I'm just saying, like, people underage having, that's illegal. So
No.
I appreciate them being like,
Crime.
just don't do it, you know?
Crime.
It's just, that's how they sell their wine cave.
Well,
It's all marketing.
Wine cave.
Bring my own Boone's Farm into the castle.
So the castle itself is located on a pretty decent-sized hill, and it is also located directly across from Kalamazoo's largest cemetery, which is Mountain Home Cemetery. Part of the reason why I wanted to look into this is because back in August of 2022, I actually stayed at the castle. I, unfortunately, during the time that I went, the rooms were pretty booked up, but I really, really wanted to stay there really bad because I thought it looked really cool, and I was going to be in Kalamazoo anyway. So I ended up staying in Cabin B, which is they do have 2 cabins on site that are not part of the actual main house that were converted from like the...
Did they call it Cabin B because it was more marketable than The Help?
Well, there was also a Cabin A, so... Well, yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, yeah, I would assume this castle had at least 2 help.
Yeah, wow. Yes. Well, yeah, because the castle itself, the layout of it has 25 rooms, but only 14 of those are available to be rented out. So there has to be like a closet that the help was allowed to stay in.
Well, no, apparently they had to stay outside.
They had to stay outside.
In a cabin.
Yeah.
They got their own place. I'm sure.
Everything's super
everything.
historically accurate. My bed was hay.
Yeah.
There was no running water.
Well, the nice thing about it is that while, yes, you are on top of a very large hill when you stay there, the 2 cabins are the converted parts of the carriage house that are adjacent to the castle itself. And Cabin A is actually the only handicap accessible room that you can stay in. I was in Cabin B, but like apparently the castle itself has still not been fully converted to be totally handicap accessible.
That is difficult when you have like historical buildings because they are just made with thin hallways and steep stairs, and to change one thing like especially if they're historical, you're not allowed to do a lot of like updating in that way. I mean, I'm sure they could as a business fight for it, but it's unfortunate because you would like everyone to be able to enjoy the same thing. But historical places are hard to get, to that level. But it's nice that they at least have one thing. Sorry, you have to stay in the help carriage area. But
honestly, though, like all jokes aside, that's probably the better place to stay because can you, I don't know, I'm looking at this castle, right? Like I'm looking at this stone ass castle and I'm like, all right, but if there's like 14 people staying in like 14 rooms that people are staying in a stone building, can you imagine the fucking echoes?
Depends on what the inside is. I don't know if they like added installation or any soundproofing on the inside.
Well, and I apologize because I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. You may be asking yourself, okay, cool, it's a castle. Why are we talking about this? Why are you talking about the jacuzzi and the how much it costs to stay there? Why would I even want to stay there? Well, like I said, I actually stayed at this place back in August of 2022. And based on my experiences that I had there,
She's now a ghost.
I've been dead this entire time. Based on the experiences that I had while I stayed there, imagine my surprise when we were looking up potential stories to cover about supernatural happenings in Michigan. And I find that I was staying in what some people consider the most haunted site in all of Michigan. Because, spoiler alert, I saw nothing. Now, that could be because I was there in August and it was the hottest weekend of the year. And I will tell you what, if I don't handle heat well. So if something happened, I was too angry. I was too sweaty. There was no way.
I feel like a book falls off a shelf and you're like, fucking air conditioner!
If I get warm enough, if a book falls off the shelf and it is a ghost, I am whipping that thing back at it so fast. I am not playing around. Don't touch me.
I will say, yeah, if you're going to scare me, do not do it when I'm sweaty because I care about nothing else but wanting to get cooler.
Yes. But yeah, so when I was...
Honestly, I did forget that we were talking about spooky stuff. And I was like, well, we're talking about this because it's a fucking castle, Kelly.
because we think that castles are cool, but people that are here for spooky stuff are like,
if you like spooky
shut up
stuff,
about the cold eggs.
If
What are you doing?
If you like
Ghost,
spooky
grab up
stuff,
some of those cold eggs and put them on my forehead. It's too fucking hot.
to cook the eggs on my forehead.
It's a lovely place.
That's how you warm up the cold breakfast.
If you like spooky stuff but you don't like castles, I gotta talk to you for a minute. Just for like a minute.
I don't know. There are people that
Just go talk to them for a minute.
People that want to cosplay as royalty.
Well, yeah, you can also like castles and not like spooky stuff. I'm just saying, if you like spooky stuff and not castles, there's a problem.
Oh.
That's where that happens.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't like spooky stuff without also liking the patriarchy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Dracula didn't have the castle because he was a vampire. He had it because he was a count. Because he was rich.
Yeah, and it's spooky that he was rich. Man-eating person,
The true
a
horror.
rich man?
The true horror is the bourgeoisie. So, as it turns out, while I was doing research, it is apparently considered one of the most haunted sites. There was even a story that was done in 2023 by Fox 17 West Michigan that claimed in their headline that Henderson Castle is, quote unquote, one of Michigan's most haunted sites.
I love that saying because every single place is like, Michigan's most haunted. I was like, okay, how do we tally this up?
Right.
Well, it's another one of those fun things where the main ghosts that everybody seems to stumble across whenever they're staying there tend to be that of Frank and his wife, the original owners, because once the house was completed, he only got to enjoy it for another 5 years, and then he passed away, and then his wife stayed in the castle up until 1908, and then she also passed away. So this isn't one of those situations where like the owner built this place, fucked off for 40 years, and then mysteriously haunts it now. Like that's,
Yeah.
those stories always bother me a little bit. They did live in this place until they died.
The Holly Hotel where they're like, yeah, he was no longer in charge and then he died. But we're not gonna tell you how, where, or why.
Yeah.
But he's now the main ghost there.
He didn't live there for 30 years, but I'll tell you what, he's trapped here now.
He's
like
back.
That's mean. The main specters that people tend to see are that of the original owners. There's also reportedly a ghost dog on the premises. We've heard of those before. And Henderson Castle does also have its very own, can you guess? Lady in white. This one is a lady in white.
Minnie, what are you doing here?
Ada Witch, what are you doing here?
Literally. Apparently, she made herself known for the first time in the 1990s when, I guess, a director from Kalamazoo College came to take pictures of the place. And the current owner, who is Francois Moyet, was giving an interview to... Wow.
Don't laugh. We're never going to get a free stay there ever now.
Well, I'll get into that a little bit later.
We got a free stay.
I would lose my shit.
into
They're
that
going to be
later.
our first sponsor.
I will get into that later. He was talking with Fox 17. He was telling them about the lady in white, and he showed them a photograph of a man named Frank Royce, who was playing the piano that they have on site. And in the photo, when it got developed, there was this mysterious lady in white in the photo that wasn't there when the photo was taken. I'm going to show you guys this photo because
I cannot wait to
I got to tell you, I've never seen a more authentic looking ghost photo, because we've seen photos of potential specters where it's just like a white smudge or an orb or something like that. There's no way a man made this photo. There's no way a human being took this photo and just very, very gently placed a woman inside of it.
She's not wearing, like, she's a lady in white, but she's wearing, like, it kind of looks like old-timey lingerie. Just, like, a little bit.
I think
it's short.
Well, and because
you
she's in
see
front
her
of
legs.
because she's in front of the curtain, I keep being like, a toga? She's wearing a toga?
That's all I can see from over here right now. I need a
Neil,
closer
okay.
look.
Closer look on it. You can see that the dress gets to almost her knees.
Yeah.
But it does not look like an old-timey dress. It looks like something someone would have worn at prom in 2010.
Well, and also it's just like, I find the quality of it so interesting because she could be from any time, because she first made herself known, quote unquote, in this moment. And this was in the 90s.
I was going to say, I guess the 90s, it would make sense. I mean, like that dress, I guess.
But to me, personally,
you look so confused.
Personally, it looks so very clearly and blatantly like 1990s Photoshop, just being like, yeah, just put a lady in there and just fade her out a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Get an old-timey dress. Well, I bought this for homecoming from Windsor.
Yeah. So it could just be like a fun thing that they keep on site, but the owner is adamant. He's really leaning into the ghost angle that, like, oh yeah, see?
The gangle.
The gangle, if you will.
No, not if I will. I do like that they have his reflection in it too.
Yeah.
So the layering of reflections actually kind of make me believe it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But not enough.
I feel like with that many reflections, I'm just like, man, this is bad Photoshop. This is like,
this guy was supposed to be a professional.
Bad photography.
Well, and like, I know that in the 90s, you know, when you get photos developed, sometimes you get them back and they are kind of like squished together. That's very intentional.
He just double exposed it or some shit.
That's very intentional. That is their lady in white. Apparently, there is also the ghost of a 6-year-old girl named Christine who lingers in the house. I don't know how they got that information, because all the news site said was that an unnamed medium came to the house.
It was me. I came in and went, there's a little bitch in that corner.
It's like, oh, what's her name?
But I'm looking around and I see something that's crystal, and then I see something that's a tin. Christine.
Oh.
What is...
Yeah.
So don't tell me that medium was Rick Wade.
Can you imagine? He's just everywhere. It doesn't even say when they showed up. It just said a medium who came to visit the castle in the past said that there's also a 6-year-old girl named Christine who still lingers.
There's a little girl here. Her name's Christine. And then just fucking leaves.
Like, he walks in, like, does the whole, like, looking for the wind, like, licks his finger, like, there's the ghost of a 6-year-old girl. And it's very interesting. I think I'm getting something on, like, the EMP. The child mentioned a check.
I felt it coming. Oh, man.
The child mentioned a check. Well, and I do feel bad because we're laughing at this little girl, but apparently the legend goes that she was on the scaffolding playing, because apparently there was some sort of construction, and she was trying to write her name on the top beam inside near the dining room.
She's 6. She can't spell.
Apparently she can't climb either because she was startled, fell, and broke her neck.
Bummer. But now she will forever be memorialized as Cha.
Oh, no. Not Cha. Well, apparently that area always has like a certain amount of like staining on the beam, and the owner says that no matter how many times he tried sanding it and repainting it, it always comes back.
I feel like if a stain keeps coming back, even though you paint over it, yes,
Mold.
it could be a ghost.
Uh-huh.
Mold. You have a leak. Figure that out. Something is happening.
Yeah.
Get Rick Wade there and tell you what's going on.
Rick Wade.
You got moisture.
We're gonna
And then
become his,
once he-
biggest fan,
listen,
and he's not
listen.
gonna know why.
I want him to sign his book that he wrote that he got really good at. Was that him? Was that
No,
someone else?
that was
Dang
somebody else.
it. I'm clumping them all together. But we get Rick Wade there. He sees it. He figures it all out. Then we get the Ghostbuster from the Holly Hotel to get there, which he also just said things. He didn't get rid of ghosts. I don't know why they called him a Ghostbuster, but
World renowned.
world renowned.
And then when Neil tried to look him up, the only mention was in that fucking
Okay,
now-
that's because his world is that hotel.
He's been dead the whole time.
Bro, you are my world.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the more recent things. Apparently, there was also this place has gone through a few different owners, and apparently the previous owner had some people come out in 2010 to take a look. Apparently, there were a lot of investigations, nearly half a dozen, that were done between 2008 and 2010 because the paranormal activity spiked up real high during that time. Nobody can really explain to me why, but it was
I think
enough.
that's just like the time in general is when people were really into it.
Yeah. Well, because that was the time that the Southern Michigan Paranormals, SMP, decided to investigate it. The first investigation in 2008 had the... Yeah?
No, hang on. I'm so sorry. Wait, what year was this?
2008.
The beginning of this was when all that activity started was 2008.
That was when it got investigated a shit ton, yeah.
You want to know why? Because the very first episode of Ghost Adventures came out in October of 2008.
Oh my God!
I knew it.
We've cracked this case wide open.
The Southern Michigan Paranormals were on the case.
They're like, we know Zach Bagans personally because he is from Michigan, so they could have.
I forget that
I
constantly.
never do. I know too much about this
I
man.
try to forget that counts.
He's what I would call a legend in the worst and best ways.
Why would we worship him when we have Marshall Mathers at home?
Listen, he's not from like here. He's from like somewhere in Michigan. I think he's from like the other side.
Yeah, well, what restaurant chain did he work for that burned down?
I gotta look into that. Maybe there is. That's how you get big in Michigan.
These
You have to
parallels.
offer a restaurant.
He worked
up
at
to the
Gilbert's
devil.
West.
listen. To get big in Michigan, you have to burn down a restaurant, sacrifice it to Satan
I see.
or someone else. I don't know.
Or someone else. I don't know.
Like that.
Well, don't burn down a building then, or no, a restaurant.
I wasn't planning on it. The hell?
Speaking of fucking Ghost Adventures, did you guys see what they did with the recent episode where
No.
they actually showed the footage of the dude finding out?
Yeah,
his
when they were like,
wife?
and he just got a notification on his phone that his wife is being tried for attempted murder.
What?
Yeah, no.
Okay, there's like 30 bazillion seasons and then 2 to 10 side shows. I'm behind the times, but I do love me some Ghost Adventures.
Long story short, one of the guys, I forgot what the guy.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
his
No, like
wife
he
hired-
worked with. Yeah.
Yes, and yeah,
Aaron.
yes,
Right?
Aaron's wife hired a hitman to kill him, and he found out about it. Like that the police had showed up to his house to arrest his wife while they were filming. And Zach Bagans in the like editing booth was like, keep it in, bro.
Leave it in.
Okay, I mean, listen. I cannot blame him for that
This
because
is
that
the
is an
worst
episode I
moment of
watched.
my bro's life. I'm absolutely going to cash in on it.
Also, I would like to say that the first episode that would have came out right before this whole thing, well, like maybe when this whole thing was going down, is the episode that he is extremely inappropriate
Oh, look.
and goes into the bathtub a girl cut her wrist and died in, and then reenacted went, ha 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 ha, look, I'm you, ha 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 ha, and like was pretending kind of. Later on, he goes back and he apologizes to the ghost, but I think it's like the very first episode he does that. Insane. I'm sorry, we went on a whole tangent.
I have to come clean. I don't fucking watch this show.
You don't
So
have
that's
to.
crazy to me.
You don't have to. It's a great show to have on in the background because nothing really happens, but it's just enough to like pique your interest here and there, you know?
I know enough about it to survive in pop culture and
Yeah,
to understand all of the spoofs. I don't sit down and watch this. I didn't know that he went and antagonized a ghost that killed herself.
Oh, I will be showing you that once this is done. It's Joan and I died laughing.
Funny stuff.
Sorry, I don't know how to get it.
that. No, it's fine.
I just was looking up. I want to see if he had worked at any places we knew. But they did a film first called Ghost Avengers that came out in 2007. And then they started the series in 2008. So I do think this was like the start of that. Like,
I can't believe it was a movie first.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen it. So
What did they... All right, we're going to have to look up this movie after, yeah.
yeah, he was born in D.C. and then he was raised in Illinois, but then he graduated from Glen West High School. But I could have sworn they said I know he lived in Michigan before he went and was a ghost adventure dude. Pretty sure. I'll be really sad if I was wrong, but I'm like 95% sure I was right. Sorry, you go in your story that actually matters. I'm going to keep looking at things. And listening.
So the first investigation that SMP did in 2008 included hearing just an audible "hey" when no one was around.
Hey.
Yeah. And then they said that was enough proof.
Of course they did. They're called Simp.
There's no I.
Gosh.
There's no I.
Simp.
Apparently, there was also a paranormal experience that included a framed picture that had the name Claire written in the dust. That's the male form, which is Clare. They experienced electronic voice phenomenon.
Hey.
One of which included a woman's voice saying just flowers and candy after flowers and candy were presented for some reason. Somebody just had them and was like, oh, flowers and candy. Yeah, literally. They just picked up a ghostly woman's voice saying, flowers and candy.
Flowers and candy. My husband would never.
My husband would never. Various workers over the years have said that they have usually seen somebody at the top of the staircase, and they all just have a feeling that it is the ghost of Mary Henderson, who was one of the original owners. Of the more than 60...
We all get this strange feeling. I'm Mary Henderson.
Has anybody seen my husband? I'm Mary Henderson. That's M-A-Y. No, M-A-R. Fuck. Oh, God.
Have you seen my granddaughter?
Stop it. And apparently, SMP stated that of the more than 60 historical sites and more than 30 private residences that they have visited as a group, they referred to the castle as very active on the haunted scale.
Ooh.
Very haunted.
And one of the previous owners, a Peter Livingstone McNeils, hyphenated, who had bought the castle in 2005, said also that former and current staff members and even his own son experienced unexplained phenomena. When his son Vincent was 7 or 8 years old, he said that he saw the ghostly figure of a woman in the Victorian room, which was originally the changing room for Mary Henderson. Apparently, he was quoted as saying, "She looked like one of these women. That's what she was wearing." And he pointed to a picture of women dressed in clothing that was typical in the 1800s. And when he was asked to describe what it looked like, when he pointed to the portrait, the owner was like, "Yeah, the kid's got it right. That's what she would have worn."
She looked like this. He pointed to a poster for the movie Flashdance.
Yeah, other phenomenon have included doors opening and closing, your standard temperature drops, people feeling like somebody has touched their arms. And apparently there was also a recorded issue where in the maid's scullery area that's just off of the main dining room, all of the upper cabinet doors had just been opened. And they're about like 12, 15 feet in the air. So the staff that was there was like, nobody can reach those. But also I'm like, clearly somebody can. That's a storage area. And you can just get a broom and like kind of whack it open. So quack. But yeah, various things. One of the fun resources that I found when I was looking into this is if you are ever interested, I know that we're kind of getting out of spooky season a little bit, but I encourage people.
Every season is spooky season.
I
Would have made the clown a little bigger.
I would have made the clown a little bit bigger. It's more like shit. Fuck, okay. I do highly encourage people to check out the site michiganhauntedhouses.com, where patrons of haunted establishments are encouraged to leave written reviews with an additional rating scale of 1 out of 5 jack-o'-lanterns that indicates just how spooky your paranormal experience was. When I went onto the site, I went to check out specifically Henderson Castle. So far, there have been 5 reviews posted on the site since 2020. Out of those ones, 4 of the reviews are between 4 and 5 jack-o'-lanterns. There was a 1 jack review on there that was just somebody that didn't.
1 jack.
That's what I'm calling them.
Oh, man.
I only give this place 1 jack.
Just like I did when I stayed there.
No, because that guy's main issue was he had issues with management and there was some sort of, it's not paranormal, he just had a bad time. I was pleased to see that one of the 5 jack reviews took place, I'm not going to stop saying it, took place in...
5 big jacks for this review.
No!
And as Zachary would say, hashtag that as
Merry Scratchmas.
Merry Scratchmas. 5 big jacks. I was pleased to see that one of the 5 jack reviews took place in one of the 2 cottages, since I stayed in the cottage and not in the main house. Again, I didn't experience anything during my stay, but also I was too fucking warm, so who knows. But one of the reviews said the following. My oldest daughter's wedding was at Henderson Castle this weekend. My wife and I stayed in Cottage A and did not expect to experience anything, as we were on the grounds but not in the main building. The first night, as we slept, my wife felt some weight on her arm as though something was laying on it. The second night, I was lying in bed with my wife, who was also sleeping.
I need to make this very clear. I was lying in the bed, but my wife was too, but she was also sleeping.
The second night, I was lying in bed while my wife was sleeping, and I literally felt like something jumped up on the bed next to my shoulder and stepped across my pillow. The way it landed on the bed, I could definitely feel 3 feet land just like our dogs and cats do at home.
3?
Yeah, I don't know.
All his dogs and cats at home, they land with 3?
Some people adopt.
Because 3 legs, right? Like, you know, my 3rd leg, ha ha ha, because it's my big pee-pee. Big pee-pee ghost.
I'm going to cut everything other than him just saying big pee-pee ghost.
Big pee-pee ghost gets 5 jacks.
One of my other daughters heard laughter in the honeymoon suite as well, and the clear footsteps in heels across the bathroom floor. So that one was in August of 2020. The most recent review was in November of 2023, and it goes a little something like that.
Drop a beat, Dan.
My wife and I stayed as a last-minute option for our anniversary. We did not come for any quote-unquote haunting talk. We came to do something different than the usual hotel or resort. Our room was referred to as the Dutch room. Written weird. They stayed in the Dutch room. We chose this because it has a king bed and a non-shared restroom. We went to bed around 11 p.m. and the room was nice and cold as we like it. I woke up at 3 a.m. roasting hot. Since I was awake, I began reading stories of...
Wait. Was his wife asleep in bed next to him?
The story doesn't say. How are we supposed to know? Since I was awake, I began reading stories of happenings at the Henderson Castle. It seemed many activities occurred from 3 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. I was commenting on a Facebook post my wife had left earlier that evening that I was up and life was uneventful. As I was typing, it was now 3:45 and our closet door was banging from within several times.
He said that so casually, like, and then 3:45, it continued to bang.
Yeah,
and you're like, wait,
at
when did it
3:45, I
start?
was like, how long has this been going on?
I just tuned back in, you know?
It's actually my wife. I threw her in there when I woke up.
I couldn't believe, interestingly enough, I couldn't believe my wife had slept through the hard knocks on the door.
Well, God, now we know what she was doing. Thank goodness.
Every hair on my body stood and my heart was pounding so fast I could barely finish my message. Stop writing on Facebook, man. There's a ghost.
And
Yeah,
he's
the
commenting
second-
on his wife's post. Isn't that what he said?
You could just wake her up and be like, things are uneventful. You
Hey,
sleeping? No, no
I
more.
like your post.
Also, I would like to say, so he was like, oh, I couldn't even finish my post. If something is banging inside of your closet, I'm like, there's an animal, there's something, there's a person, who knows? Take care of that first. Also, now your post is a lie.
Brother, yeah, it's eventful now, and also the post can wait. My heart was racing.
I woke up roasting because my wife lit me on fire for not pre-planning our fucking anniversary.
Last second, we didn't come here for any hoi polloi haunting.
You brought me to a haunted fucking castle for our anniversary? God damn it, Brandon.
I mean, I do think Jennifer would kill you.
Oh, she would, yeah.
Yeah. But for you, that'd be the best.
Dude, it'd be sick. She brought me to a haunted castle. I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, and then she'd be like, okay, I'm leaving you here.
I'd be like,
Come pick you up.
She'd take
tomorrow.
me
She'd be like, sleeping in the car. Yeah. My
I
heart
booked myself a Holiday Inn Express.
for basically the same price. My heart was racing so much my eyes were literally watering. After 30 to 45 minutes of recording the door trying to catch it again on video, I got up to use the restroom and noticed the door was now open a couple inches.
Wait,
Dan has a problem with this story.
you waited 45 minutes, and then instead of being like, oh, I guess maybe I should check it out, or, I'm spooked, or I could wake up like, my wife, it was, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Yeah.
No.
I closed the door, got back into bed, and continued to try and catch another incident on video. Lying awake in bed until 6:30 a.m., I decided it was time to make a cup of coffee. I went to the restroom to go through my bag for morning routine items.
I went to the restroom to get water from the toilet for my coffee.
Okay, this is how it's written. I went to the restroom to go through my bag for morning routine meds, etc. I heard that freaking door pounding.
Well, now he's just mad because he missed it on camera.
I opened the bathroom door, and there again was an opened closet door. Still couldn't believe my wife slept through it again. I woke her up to tell her what was going on. She looked at me like I'm full of BS, and I went back to sleep. So here I am, 7 a.m., waiting for the sun to come up. We're here 2 nights. I will try my best to catch this on video.
I do love that she woke up and was like, I don't really give a fuck.
She woke up and she was like, shut the fuck up, Larry.
I'm going back to bed. Next time, get me a better place to stay.
Larry, stop waking me up, you asshole. Yes, the closet door's open. Did you shut it last time? No? All right, then drink your fucking toilet coffee with your cold breakfast and fucking do something useful.
Go downstairs, get me the cold flapjacks, come back up, leave me be. That was the most recent review that was left on that site. The site itself is very cool. One of the neat things about it is that when you're on the page looking for a certain haunted location, they will have a little map that updates for each place that includes the names and locations of other haunted places of interest that are nearby. So you can kind of plan your own little haunted tour of the area.
Oh, I want to do that.
When you look up Henderson Castle, some spots of note that are listed nearby that are apparently haunted, include the Kalamazoo Civic Center, Kalamazoo State Theater, Sam's Joint Restaurant, Brook Lodge, Hawkshead Cemetery, and the Old Jail Museum.
Which is great, but not the cemetery that's across the street.
Yeah, I was surprised. I guess it's just not haunted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest cemetery in Kalamazoo, but it wasn't listed on there.
If it's the biggest, the chances are. I don't know.
I don't know. What was the name of the medium again?
Rick Wade.
Rick Wade went to that cemetery and he was like,
I don't feel anything.
I don't feel anything.
Nothing's here.
Yeah. No. So, and he's a professional.
Hmm.
So,
Well, since we brought up Rick Wade, I will say before I forget, Zach Bagans went to college at like the Michigan School of
magic.
No, it was like motion pictures or
Magic!
something. It was a film school, and his thesis film was their first film on hunting ghosts. Then he started the show.
The Motion Picture Institute?
Yeah, Michigan Motion. The fuck, I had it.
Michigan Magic School for Men.
The Motion Picture Institute of Michigan.
Yeah, no shit. That's in Troy.
Yeah, he went there, and then his senior thesis was a ghost hunting film or paranormal thing because he had an experience or something, and then the show took off.
That's so fucking.
And that's probably why we've never seen the movie, because I don't know if it's that easy to find since it was a student film.
No, thank God those don't usually live anywhere. Anyways.
My student film lives somewhere. It's different, though. It's animation.
So the general consensus seems to be that the main specter spotted in the house are the ghosts of the original owners, Frank and Mary Henderson, with a few miscellaneous characters kind of coming and going. The property was most recently purchased by the current owner, who is Francois Moyet, who is a master chef, back in 2011.
A master chef?
Yeah.
He just became a lot cooler because now I expect that cold breakfast to be tight.
Well, and half the
It's
time
cold
whenever
on
he's
purpose
doing
now.
half the time whenever he's doing the interviews, he has his big tall chef's hat on.
I like this guy.
I make it the hotel.
Hey, you
He's
know
very
what?
clearly French.
I like him.
It says that
I make it a hotel.
Listen, he can actually pronounce our streets right. We know this.
It says that he spent somewhere around 1.5 million on restorations and bringing everything back up to code. I mean, it's a castle.
Now I know but that's just the restorations. That's not even the outright buying it.
Yeah. He spent around 1.5 million on restorations and bringing everything back up to code to maintain the property as a successful bed and breakfast. But
Oh no.
as of 2024,
Tell me you bought it.
the castle is reportedly back on the market.
Dead Pine Castle.
Castle!
Yeah, and all we need is a cool, tiny, little baby $5 million.
All right, the 14 people who listen to this show, make it happen.
Yeah, all our friends.
Yeah. Thank you, friends. Dead Pine Castle.
Yeah, Joan, I think Audrey said she listened to it. Jeff.
We don't have to
Jeff.
go through the roster.
My lovely wife, Jen, listens to it.
Thank you to all of our listeners.
Rachel,
obviously.
Matt. I don't know if they actually listen to it, but
Why are we doing this?
My mom
It doesn't
listens
matter.
sometimes.
Brenda. Podcasts,
Junie
they
listens to it against her will. So.
That's true.
That's true.
But a lot of podcasts thank
She attends
their
the live
followers.
tapings.
Junie attends the live taping.
Yeah.
But I will say, paranormal activity or not, when I stayed there, heat notwithstanding, because I just don't do well in the summer. I did really like it, and it was very cool. And I would love to be able to go back, because the time that I spent there was pretty limited, and I wasn't necessarily adhering to my own schedule. I didn't even get a chance to walk around the full grounds. I didn't get a chance to visit the cemetery across the way. Didn't go to the wine cave, but that's because I don't drink. But
Yeah. I want to see it, but I don't need,
Did you have a good cup of toilet coffee?
didn't do that. But when I did go down for the breakfast in the morning, I did have orange juice, which was lovely.
Which was warm, oddly. It was the only hot thing there.
Yeah, super fucking crazy. Everything else, ice cold. Orange juice, boiling.
I knew it. Drifting.
So it was a very nice time, and it is a beautiful property, and I would love to be able to go back. And especially now that I know that it is haunted, I think down the road in the future, maybe we pay a visit.
It would be really cool to do in I know it's probably way too early and I'm broke, but November.
I mean, yeah.
We go in the winter too. That'd be so cute.
The only thing is, it does seem like most of the rooms, well, I mean, they're all basically the same price. Most of the rooms can only hold max 4 people, because there's usually a pull-out couch situation. The bed frames at these places are antique ones, which is nice.
So I get
hold
a bed
fine.
to myself.
So creaky.
Oh.
But so beautiful, so nice, and I would love to explore. And I know where there's a killer brunch spot.
Heck
nearby,
yeah. So you give them your cold breakfast and then a killer brunch.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all know me. I will not wake up early enough for the cold brunch. Or the cold breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, it is only from 8 to 9:30.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're going to have to get that for me and just, I'll eat it on my way to brunch.
Yeah, maybe down the road, we will actually do some ghost hunting in an actual castle.
Neil does have some of the gear, man. And so does Mike. We should get Mike on that.
We should.
We just get all our friends to just rent out the whole castle.
That would be so much fun.
So
Yeah.
You hear that, friends? Let's rent a castle.
Dead Pine
sorry.
Party at the castle?
I'm sorry. So like
For us and select listeners?
on the Henderson Castle website, they have like some stock photos.
Yeah.
And like the first one I saw, Kelly, you will lose your shit. Oh, this is a much larger,
This is a lot more photos than I anticipated.
a lot more photos than.
Neil, I'm seeing a lot of spa stuff. Am I gonna see a foot? Oh, I spoiled it, didn't I?
You did. But it was the first one. It's not.
Sorry,
just
I'm
a
so sorry. I
foot.
didn't mean to scream into the mic.
It's not just a foot. It is a couple's feet, as if they are participant.
Intertwined.
Yeah, they're like holding hands with their toesies.
Yeah, I forgot to mention there's a spa on site. So, yeah.
Ooh, I want to go to a spa.
Yeah, I also didn't do that the last time I was there. I'm just saying we can make a whole haunted weekend out of it. And again, maybe, I don't know, down the road, depending on friends that listen, maybe at some point we could have like a Dead Pine Party there.
Oh my god, Dead Pine Party.
We don't have the budget to be able to like pay for your room, but like
You can show up when I'm there and get my autograph.
we're getting ahead of ourselves. But yeah, that was basically all I had. It
rude.
seems the overall vibe of it that various people did say when they encountered the paranormal activity was that nothing ever felt malicious. I mean, apart from that guy trying to get the evidence and the frickin' door kept banging.
I would 100% do that as a ghost, though.
Yeah.
Like, that would be hilarious.
Everybody said that none of the encounters seem malicious or to have ill intent. It's generally just people being like,
Oh, but you know what? I
Flowers and
appreciate
candy.
those. Like, I would do that.
yeah.
The last story that we just did, I would not want to do.
bridge?
Devil in the Woods, yeah.
And hopefully people listen to that and know what we're talking about. And if not, go check that out.
Well,
If you're looking for something a little bit spookier, maybe check out that episode. This one
nice. I like these.
had some shenanigans in
So,
it.
but yeah, you can go and have a good time in a cute place, and it might be haunted. And
give,
you don't have to worry about like going and sleeping in your car because it's not going to be a mean haunting.
I give the
And the
Henderson
worst
Castle
thing-
5 jacks.
Repeatedly?
The worst thing that's gonna happen is your bitch wife is gonna get mad at you for waking her up because the closet door keeps opening when you're just trying to make toilet coffee.
on the anniversary that you did it last second.
Yeah. None of this haunting crap. But yeah, that was the Henderson Castle.
Oh, fun! Wait, it's in Kalamazoo, right? That's
Yep.
what he said. That's cool. A lot of haunted places in Michigan.
Yeah. There's
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of haunted places everywhere, but
well, and again, can't stress enough. Definitely, if you feel like it and you live in Michigan, check out MichiganHauntedHouses.com because in addition to actual sites of paranormal activity, they do also just have a whole roster of like spooky themed events, whether it's like stuff that's strictly kid friendly or it's like ghost tours or festivals and whatnot. They do also have some cryptid festivals listed on there too. So
Nice.
this is a very quick Google search, but it does seem, depending on what you go on, but
don't pull the rug out from under me.
no. I was just saying, like, Michigan is one of the more haunted states. I mean, there are ones that like completely are like, oh, some say California is super haunted, and then other ones are like, it's not nearly haunted. But Michigan is on there. This is one list I just pulled up.
Should have made the clown.
But on most of them, Michigan's pretty far up there on haunted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know for future episodes if we're looking to keep digging and strike some gold.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, some will like pull out a weird one when they're like, yes, this state that no one else says is haunted is super haunted.
Would you believe Delaware is soaked in blood?
It always depends. It's the same thing. Like growing up, we were always told, like Neil and I were told that a school that we had gone to was one of the most haunted places in America. It made the top 50. And if you look it up now, you cannot find it. Like it's not on that list.
Well, it's also like, the urban legends thing and everything like that. Like how every single kid swore up and down that their neighborhood had Bloody Mary's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. I found that interesting. All right. Well, that was today's episode. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really want to go there. And it's a place we can go because it's not the Holly Hotel that's closed.
Yeah.
But we should go. That would be a lot of fun.
And maybe one day we'll buy it. Who knows?
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Not the whole Holly Hotel. It keeps catching fire. I can't do that.
Yeah, maybe not that one.
I'm not Eminem. I can't pull it off.
Yeah, maybe not that one, but Henderson Castle, we'll see.
That'd be cool. What's $5 million?
Yeah.
Like a banana?
Put me on a payment plan for like $20 a month and
For the next 7 generations of my family.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll work out. I'm not having kids, so it works.
Don't say that out loud.
I mean, I'm having so many kids that are going to be doctors.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Rich kids.
rich kids. I don't know how they're going to get rich, but they're going to get rich.
Quick, Kelly, make a Bonanza reference.
I don't know what that is.
Follow us on all our socials, Instagram, TikTok, whatever's. Give us a rating. 5-star would be great. It's the best way to support us. Leave a comment. Give us an email. New episodes come out on whatever you're listening this on, so just keep up on it. And I think that's it. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and since Zachari's not here, take it away, Kelly.
What?
I don't know. He just kept doing that in the one episode. I thought it was funny.
Oh.
That's gotta hurt.
All right. Well, that's it. All right. See you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Not her.
The castle's been around since the 1800s and was built by, his name is Frank
Henderson?
Sorry. Would you believe me if I told you no? No.
You blew my mind for a moment there.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place.
No, you're good.
The construction took a few years, but it was finished being built in 1895. It was built by, why am I having so much trouble right now?
Dude, that was me like
Frank!
minutes ago.